Jai Shri Mataji. Please bow down to the Shri Mataji. Raise your Kundalini and take the bandhan. Param Pujya Shri Mataji. You are Saksha Shri Adishakti. Mother, please grant us the permission to do the meditation at your lotus feet. And please bless us thoughtless state. Now please keep our right hand towards Mother Earth. Our complete attention is on center of left palm. Now please keep our right hand on our lap and left hand towards the sky. Now please keep our both hands on our lap. Our complete attention is on central Muladhara chakra. Param Pujya Shri Mataji, please remove all the badhas, all the negativities from my Muladhara chakra. And please awaken Sri Ganesh principle within us. Mother, please awaken Sri Ganesh principle within us. And please make me innocent like Sri Ganesha. Mother, please make me innocent like a child. Now please keep our right hand on left side of our stomach below the abdomen. Param Pujya Sri Mataji, please give me pure knowledge about myself. Mother, please give me pure knowledge about myself. Now please keep our right hand on our central Nadi chakra. Param Pujya Sri Mataji, please awaken Lakshmi principle within us. Mother, please awaken Lakshmi principle within us. Now please keep our right hand on left side of our heart. Param Pujya Sri Mataji, I am only pure spirit. Mother, I am not this body. I am not this mind. I am not this ego. I am only pure spirit. Mother, please come into my heart. Mother, please come into my heart. Now please keep our right hand on our forehead. Param Pujya Sri Mataji, I have forgiven everyone, including myself. I have forgiven everyone. Now please say 3 times Sham. 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 Now please keep our right hand on our Sahasrara and slowly rotate our right palm clockwise 7 times on our Sahasrara. Param Pujya Sri Mataji, you are Saksha Sri Sahasrara for me. You are Saksha Sri Adishakti. Mother, please awaken my Kundalini. Mother, please bless us thoughtlessly. Now please keep our both the hands on our lap. Our complete attention is on center of both the palms and Sahasrara. Now we will listen lecture of Shri Mataji. Please concentrate on center of both the palms, all the fingertips and Sahasrara.
which works it out. So we have a center here on the crossing of the optic duct. This center is very important because we react with this. We react to everything. By this reaction, we create a problem within ourselves. And this reaction comes to us because we do not know how to go beyond the mind. Every time we are looking at something, we react. We look at someone, we react. But we cannot just watch. We cannot be just the witness. If we could be the witness, it will not have any effect on us. But we cannot be. That's the trouble when this center is very active. We call it as Agya Chakra. Where the two optic nerves meet. At the crossing point, this center is placed. Even Jung has said that you have to go beyond your thoughts and that you have to become thoughtlessly aware. Even in our Shastras it is written that you have to have Nirvichar Samadhi, means without thought, and the another is Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Now even Einstein has said that you have to go beyond the mind to reach the torsion area, he calls. When he was searching for his theory of relativity, he found it was difficult. He couldn't find it. He got very tired. He went into his garden and was playing with soap bubbles like a child. Then he says, suddenly from somewhere else, it dawned upon me this theory of relativity. He calls it openly as a torsion area. And this torsion area we have to touch instead of ourselves thinking all the time and react. Because as a result of that, what happens, we should say. What happens is that our movement on the autonomous nervous system goes to the right side. The right side is very good, otherwise a person looks very impressive. He can oppress other, he can be aggressive, he can be very systematic. All these things can be there. But it has a reaction. The reaction is horrible because this right side affects our liver to begin with. Now the liver is called liver because we live because of liver only. That's why it's called liver. This liver gets affected and there is no actually treatment, we should say, in the medical science for liver. They can replace it with a pig's liver or some liver like that. But otherwise, there is no way out. But we are the ones, we are spoiling this liver ourselves by creating tremendous heat in the liver. This special liver has got a capacity to absorb heat and release it into the bloodstream. And then, you see, it gets relieved of it. But when it is too much, when the liver is too much full of heat, then it cannot give up that heat. Then this heat start traveling upward. It can go to the right lung. It can go to the heart. Now imagine right lung means asthma. Simple thing is asthma. Then it goes to the heart when there's a young boy, say of 21 years or so, up to that age. He starts playing cricket, tennis, and drinks a lot. Then he gets a massive heart attack. It's fatal, he cannot live. Then it affects, as I told you, other organs also. This heat goes to the pancreas, causing diabetes of a very serious nature, not of a mild nature, but a very serious nature. Then this seed passes down to the spleen. In the spleen, it gives you blood cancer. This is all possible for all right-sided people, I'm telling you. That's why I was worried that people who are, according to me, are the spine of our country. They are the spine of our country. They should not get out of life because of too much of strain and stress on their mind. Now then it goes to the kidneys. It coagulates the kidneys and you get kidney trouble, you cannot pass urine and you have all the troubles there. Apart from that, it goes to the lower intestines and you get terrible constipations and all the problems of the constipation. Then also to the heart. At a later age, it comes. It goes on affecting, ultimately, your heart fails. Very early in age, I know of recently 2 people died of heart trouble who were at a very good position. This is very much worrying me, that how to bring them to close to themselves, to know themselves what the problem is and how to solve that problem. With this, we understand that we react. By reaction, we create such a heat within us. Apart from this, the other psychosomatic diseases, this is I'm telling about somatic, but the psycho disease which comes from your psychological problems come from the left side. Of course, I'll not deal with that now. But somehow, if you can move from right to the left, you are sure to get some psychosomatic trouble which cannot be cured by medical science, like cancer, AIDS, all kinds of this. So you are just preparing your body for them. In these modern times, the life is so full of struggle, speed. Now we were coming and there was a jam. Now you can't help it. I was very silently watching. Now this is the jam. I have to reach late, doesn't matter. My husband normally would have been really in great trouble. He would have looked at the watch all the time, would have been, wow, where are we? What are we doing? This and that. But he was so silently watching the whole thing, I was amazed. Because normally he would be jittery that we are getting so late for a function like. Now, you see, once you get rid of this problem, is the easiest thing to live. The other day, I met one gentleman who was transferred. He said, always whenever, he's an IAS officer, whenever I'm transferred, mother, I used to be so jittery, such tension, such stress on my mind, Baba, what will happen, where will the children go, what will happen to the house, this, that, all problems would come to me. But what has happened to me and my wife, we don't feel anything now. We don't feel. We are not worried. We sleep very well. I said, that's what has to happen. All these things should not affect you. That's only possible when you can go beyond this mind, which we think mind is not such a good word, I should say, because it's not mental. It is, if it is only mind means the one which thinks. And that for them, mental hospital is also mad people. I don't know how English language moves. It's difficult, you know. English language is very difficult to explain Sahajayoga, because in the English language, you'll be amazed that they call spirit. Spirit is the Atma, right? Spirit is the dead body moving about, according to them. And thirdly, it means also alcohol. Now, which one is closer to which one, I don't know. But this is why I'm saying that English language is a difficulty. Marathi is the best because lot of work has been done among Maharashtrians on Kundali. Nath Panthis were there. They have done a lot of work, but the tradition was that one person would give realization to only one person. If I have done anything you think worth mentioning, it is that I tried to find out a way of giving collective realization, collective happiness. That's what was my humble contribution, and by which I find thousands of people have got their realization. Now, what is the realization? It is that if you see at the base of the spinal cord is a triangular bone called as sacrum. It is called sacrum because it's a sacred bone, and the Greeks knew about it, that it's a sacred bone. And according to our Shastras and also many other prophecies, there resides a power within us, our own power, your own power, called as Kundalini. It's called Kundalini because it is in 3.5 coils. Coils are called Kundal, that's why it is the Kundalini. Now, this power is your own. It's in every human being. And if it is awakened, it passes through 6 centers, piercing through the top of the head, which we call as the Brahmarandre in the Sanskrit language and the fontanelle area in the English language. It passes through that soft bone which was there in the childhood, and you just start feeling the cool breeze coming out of your head and the cool breeze coming onto your fingertips. It happens. It's an experience, and for which you cannot pay. You cannot. I may go on telling you lots of stories, this, that won't work. It has to happen. The Kundalini has to rise and has to pierce through fontanelle area. Otherwise, it's no use. It's just words, some sermon or something. So, this happening is very easy in this Kali Yuga. This is really remarkable because maybe because of Kali Yuga, people are fed up of the things going on and all kinds of things working out. Now, what does it do? It passes through 6 centers. 6 centers, these are meant for our physical, mental, and emotional being, and also for our spiritual. So, when it passes through these 6 centers, it nourishes those centers. It integrates all these centers. And ultimately, it passes through this and enters into the all pervading power of divine love. It's called as Paramachaitan. You may call it as all pervading power of divine love or anything, but names make no difference. There is a very subtle power around us which looks after us, which guides us, which helps us, which is the torsion area. Now, by doing that, what happens? That you become knowledgeable of the absolute truth. Absolute. Whatever you know is absolute, is nothing to doubt, nothing can be challenged. For example, it starts flowing through your fingertips. Starts flowing through your fingertips, and you can feel it on your fingertips, your centers. Now, these are 5, 6, and 7 centers. 5, 6, and 7 centers. I'm not going to tell you all the details now, but when you start feeling these cold sensation, Adi Shankaracharya has called it as Spand, then you feel the truth, the real truth. For example, supposing in your office you get somebody who is a cheat, very well dressed, speaks English very well, very well behaved. How will you make him out? You just have to put your hands under your table and see for yourself. Immediately you'll get some sort of a burning sensation, or you might feel some sort of a call needle and pins, like that. That kind of a feeling you might. Then you will also know what centers is catching on your fingertips. This is the absolute knowledge about everything. It's not question of only knowing who is a bad or a good person, but also of diseases. Supposing you have some disease, you will feel it on your fingertips. On your fingertips, you will feel it. You will know this is your disease. And if you know how to cure them, you can cure others also. Because you become one with the whole. It's a very collective personality you develop. Who is the other after all? We are all one. But only trouble is we are separated because of this ignorance. Once this works out, so many things drop out from us. This is the right side I am telling you about. But also the conditionings are very much working out in us. In our reaction, there are two things that work out. One is the right side, another the left side, and the left side is all the conditioning as you see. These conditionings come to us through our childhood, through our family, through our country, through our reading, this, that, all kinds of things they come. But also, family upbringing is very important because according to our Shastras, there are six enemies. We have got six. Now, these six enemies are what? So, Kama, Krodha, Mada, Matsara, Lobha, Moha. Kama is what you can call sexual urge. Krodha is anger. Krishna has denounced anger. But all right sided people are hot tempered. They don't want to be, but they are. And when they lose their temper, then they feel bad also. Not that they want to lose it, but they just lose it. Now, this one drops out. The temper goes out completely because you develop that witness state, Sakshi Swarupa. With that witness state, you just see everything. You don't lose temper. You just see it. That is one thing drops out very well. Mother is false pride. That we have. I know IAS officers and their wives. They have that false pride. Not everyone, but some of them do they have. I have very funny experiences of that. Like once we went to Delhi to Hatriji, and they had given us a house in Minaba. And I met another friend of mine from Lucknow who had married an IAS officer, a very proud girl. And she asked me, "Where are you living? How are you?" I said, "My husband is a government servant, so he's transferred here. But where are you living?" I said, "Minabag." "Oh my God, Minabag, what is your husband doing? Is he a clerk? What is he doing?" I said, "He's doing something." And I was just looking at her the way she was on me. "Oh, my husband might be your husband's boss, so this and that." I said, "Maybe I don't know anything about these things. I'm sorry, I don't know your list of people, anything. I'm not interested." And then my husband came. So she said, "See that tall man? He's very important. He's with the Prime Minister. You go and talk to him and get your husband promoted." I said, "What is she up to?" I said, "Darling, he's my husband." Hey, he's your husband? Huh? Yeah. "Oh my God, I'm sorry. I said, "It's all right. Common experience." The women also become IAS, you see, not actually, but as wives. And I've been such a lost person with them because I could never understand what is there to be IAS and to be his wife. It was beyond me. But one thing, what really helped me in all this turmoil of life, because our pay is less, this, that, all problems are there, was the patriotism, Rashtra Bhakti. My father was a great patriot, my mother was. They sacrificed everything for the independence of this country. I cannot travel by any foreign airlines, whatever may be. Maybe Air India is not good, doesn't matter. It's my country's thing. So the feeling that This is my country. Kept me going like a, you see, you
माता जी सबको हुआ दोनों का नजारा माता जी हम सबको हुआ दोनों का नजारा माता जी सबको हुआ दोनों का नजारा माता जी सहयोगी का हरदम नारा माता जी सहयोगी का हरदम नारा माता जी ओ माता निर्मल माता जी 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 माता माता जी माता निर्मल माता जी माता निर्मल माता जी ओ माता निर्मल माता जी माता निर्मल माता जी माता निर्मल निर्मल माता 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 जी माता 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 निर्मल माता जी एक रूप तेरा क्यों ना इतराए एक के रूप तेरा क्यों ना इतराए एक के रूप तेरा क्यों ना इतराए एक के रूप तेरा क्यों ना इतराए चांद ये सूरज भी शर्माए 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 एक के रूप तेरा क्यों ना इतराए एक के रूप तेरा क्यों ना इतराए चांद ये सूरज भी शर्माए चांद ये सूरज भी शर्माए चांद ये सूरज भी शर्माए तुमसे है ये सांझ सवेरा माता जी तुमसे है ये सांझ सवेरा माता जी बस तुमसे है ये सांझ सवेरा माता जी तुमसे है ये सांझ सवेरा माता जी सहयोगी का हरदम नारा माता जी सहयोगी का हरदम नारा माता जी अरे माता निर्मल माता जी माता निर्मल माता
Now please open your eyes.
निर्मल माता
Bow down to the
जी
Shri Mataji and take the bandhan.
माता निर्मल माता जी 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 माता निर्मल माता माता निर्मल माता जी 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 माता जी